everyone, so welcome to today's video. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we're getting ready together. We're playing with some new makeup. I pulled some products that are overly hyped that had a huge viral moment that people were loving and enjoying, and I'm putting them all together to create this look. I'm also plugging in some new products that I recently purchased during the Black Friday sales that I've had my eye on, that I've been intrigued by, also because of the hype that's around it and the photos and what I saw on Instagram, which is a social media platform that I am always using and kind of tuning into. Out of all the social media out there, I always kind of tune into Instagram whenever I have some time throughout the day or late at night, and that's kind of when I start to see products and I start making my list of things that I want to try. And I'm just sort of plugging all those products into today's look, and I'm sharing with you my thoughts as we go. And then I'm going to wrap up towards the end of the video with my thoughts so far of these products and how everything is coming together. I will say that some of these products I have used previously in videos and also in my personal time, but I'm also kind of condensing it down into a full face of overly hyped products. I'm putting them all together because I like to mix products all the time and sort of do my own thing, but I really wanted to stick to the products that I've heard a lot of positive things about and really see why these products are so popular. And some products, like the display is completely wiped out. When I went to look at it in person, there was none to choose from. So I was like, okay, there's got to be something to it. So we'll get to those products, but this is the look that I'm doing today. And I would love to hear from you what you think about the look. And if you want to see it, then just continue watching. So I'm starting with the Caliray So Blanc primer and applying a thin layer directly over my skincare. Today's foundation mix is going to be Smashbox Always On mixed with a little bit of my Estée Lauder Double Wear. These two I'm obsessed with. This is the combo that I've been doing a lot for the last couple of weeks, so I'm going to do that today. Next, I'm going with some concealer. I'm going to mix the Makeup by Surrealskin in shade 140 with the Haus Labs Skin Tech Concealer in the shade 11 Light Neutral. And the two of these together are actually a really pretty combination. I've done this a few times and I really like how this looks. So I take the Makeup by Mario right through the center and innermost part of my eye. And then I will use the Haus Labs, which is a little darker. It was one of the lighter shades that was available during the early launch at Sephora that I felt like I could make work for my skin. It is a little dark, so I could use a few shades lighter. But with the Makeup by Mario mix into it, it's fine. It's doable. The two of them together look really, really beautiful. Taking the Givenchy Prisme Libre powder to set the concealer, I'm using the shade Satin Blanc. And my same beauty sponge that I use to blend the concealer, I'm picking up the powder and really pressing and pushing that over the concealer in a tapping motion. Next up for brows is going to be the brow gel. This is from Rare Beauty. This will be my second time trying this out. This was sold out for the longest time, and it had a lot of hype, and it was like a waitlist item at Sephora for the longest time. And I finally got my hands on it, and so I'm trying this out and kind of mixing it with some of these more popular products just to see how everything comes together and if I actually really like the products. Next up for bronzer, I'm going to try this Give Beauty bronzer out again in a darker shade. The shade that I use pretty regularly is the shade Heatin' Up, which is more for fair skin. This is the one that's a step up from that. And I really am curious about this color and continuing to use this. This will be my second time, so I'm kind of just still filling out the tone. And I want to try this brush out. This is the number 59 Sephora Pro Powder Brush. Comes in a set. They are black handles with some silver sparkle. Really pretty. The Sephora collection brushes are quite nice, and they're generally on sale for 30% off during the annual sales at Sephora. So I'm going to use this one today for the first time. I cleaned it and I'm ready to go. So I'm going to take a little bit of this powder, sweep this at the top, by the temples, and then just kind of pat this and blend. This is a powder brush, so I'm going to see how it works for bronzer. It is quite soft and it's got a lot of give. The bristles are really kind of wispy, so I think it will be a nice brush to actually use to lightly set the face with some translucent powder or even just like a pressed powder. Next up is another product from Give Beauty that I've had my eye on as well. I saw this on social media when the brand launched at Sephora, this product. This is the Duo for blush in the shade Ex-Girlfriend. This is the Feeling Cheeky Duo. And I wanted to try this, but I kind of refrained simply because I have a lot of pink blushes in my collection. But something about this just kind of kept pulling me back into this sort of tone. And I figured during the Black Friday sales, that was a great time. 50% off was what they were offering, which is incredible. And I just went for it. I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. So it's like 2 shades. This one here that's lighter is more of a kind of, appears to have a more of a satiny finish. And then the bottom that it's a little bit more of like a purpley with a hint, or a pink with a purple hint to it. Not sure how much, how pigmented this is. So I'm going to just start tapping up higher to create more of a lift on the face, and I'm just going to tap. I'm going to take a little bit of that kind of satiny soft pink and just lightly add that to the top points of my cheek where I would go with highlighter, because this does have a bit of a sheen to it. And then I'm just going to kind of blend this out. We go over the lid with it. What do you think? That's pretty. Do you see that sheen? As I move my face with the light, you can really see a kind of subtle sheen to it, and it's actually nice. I like it. Next up is eyes for the day. I am going to use the ABH Sultry palette. This is a mini. The Sultry palette was something that came out many years ago, and I actually never purchased it, and this palette seems like a smaller condensed version of that. And it can be very nostalgic for some of you that may have loved and enjoyed this Sultry palette. That unfortunately isn't being sold anymore, but this is a smaller, more condensed version of that, and some of the shades may be exactly the same. I don't know, because I don't have the original to compare it to. I'm just going to assume that it's probably similar or almost the same exact shades. So you have some brown tones, which I like, some bronzy tones. This one here that's kind of like a silvery, grayish, taupey type of shade. You have a bit of a gray here for a cooler look, and then you have some just everyday staple colors, some really nice blending shades, a really deep dark black shade. So I'm going to start the look off with my A503 brush from BK Beauty and Angie Hot and Flashy collab, and I'm going to go in with this lightest brown shade. This one here is just a little bit more yellowy in tone, and this is a bit more cooler, so you can do either one if you have this palette and you're following along. And I believe that shade is called Twig. Windshield wiper motions, looking straight on into a mirror so I can see that color when my eyes are open, and then just kind of blending this out. One with the A502, which is another brush from the BK Beauty and Angie collab. You can get these brushes in a set or purchase them individually if you're interested, and I will have them linked for you down below. I'm just going to blend around those edges just a little bit, and I think I may just continue using the A503 brush to add a little bit more color to the crease. And you know what, why don't we just go in with this shade? Let's see how many of these I can actually incorporate into today's look. And I'm going to use this right on this outer V, circular motions, buffing it right into the Twig shade that I already applied in my crease. And the more I blend, I feel like this side is looking, to me, it appears a little bit patchy. So it could just be my primer. And I'm going to do the same combination of colors to sort of keep the look cohesive from top to bottom. And I'm going to use a small brush for this step, and that's going to be the Pro 15 brush from the Sephora collection. I'm going to start with Twig. And then a little bit of Birch with the same brush. I'm going to swatch them. These three here are the three right down the center. There they are. So you have kind of like two shades, this one here and then this one here, that are kind of bronzy. And honestly, one looks a little bit more of a traditional bronze, this one here, which is the top shade. And the bottom one is more, I see like a hint of olive, like an antique, like old bronze look. Really pretty. And then that center one is automatically looking very cool tone. So you have the one that's more bronzy, then this one that looks really silver. When you swatch and look at it, you think, man, that looks pretty silver. But there is like a taupiness to it, and I'm picking up a subtle hint of pink undertone with that. Really, really beautiful color. And then this one that I said was more of like an old bronze look. I think I'm going to try the Pro 15 brush to apply eyeshadow. I've been using it for the lower lash line for the last couple of looks that I've done, but I'm going to use it for the upper lid area, and I'm going to start with the bronzy tone. So this one is called Cinder. The names are so small in the back. I'm going to take that and apply that from the center outward. And that's with the brush dry, by the way. If you were to use your finger or dampen your brush, this would elevate the intensity. I don't feel like it's necessary. Ooh, did I get it on my face? I don't think it's necessary. As I was saying, if you don't want that look, you don't have to wet your brush. But it is pretty pigmented to begin with, just using a dry brush. I'm going to wipe off that brush really well, and I'm going to go into the pearl shade and put that into the inner part that I left blank. Right in through here, and just meet up to that Cinder shade. I'm kind of tempted to take that sort of olivey bronze because there's just something pulling me into that. So I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to pick up a little bit of that, and this is going to go right on this outer edge. I'm not sure how this is going to look, but I'm going for it. Right on this outer V, I'm just going to layer it right over the Cinder shade and see what happens. That's pretty. Super potent though. Whoa. And I'm going to blend that out and soften that edge there. And I actually think I'm going to take that same bronzy olivey tone, which is called Ember, and I'm going to run that to the lower lash line, and I think I'm just going to use that Pro Sephora number 15 brush. I'm just going to pick up some of that on the very tip of the brush, tap off the excess, and just apply it to this outer part of the eye. And kind of connect it so it meets up towards the outer part of my upper eye area. Okay. Now to highlight a little bit of the brow bone and the inner corner, I'm going to just take that pearl shade and use that. I really like that shade. I thought it was really pretty. And for this, I'm going to use the A505 brush, also from BK Beauty. Right in this inner part here. And brow bone. I'm going to take this really dark brown shade here with an angle brush. This is actually a brow brush number 20 from the Sephora collection. It has a spoolie on the end and an angle. On the other side, I'm going to use that really pigmented dark brown. And I'm going to use this shade. It seems quite powdery. I will show you. There is some kick up when you put your brush in there. So just kind of tap off the excess so you don't get any fallout. Because I typically do my eyes after my complexion. I'm going to use that as my eyeliner, and I'm going to start really close to the root of my lash. So we've got that lined. I'm going to take a little bit of the black shade here in the palette with the same brush, and I'm going to stamp this really close to the root of my lash, as close as possible, just on the outer part of the eye to create a little bit more smokiness. And I'm just going to stamp that ever so slightly right out here. I tight-lined my upper waterline with the Makeup by Mario pencil. I've used this for a very long time. This is my favorite tight-lining eyeliner. That's the black shade. Also Perfect Brown is a nice one too that I own. Then the mascara is Tower 28. I've been using this for a couple of months, and I was influenced based off of the reviews and what I heard through social media that this mascara was amazing, and I can honestly say it's really good. Mine is drying out, so I'm going to finish using it, but it sort of ties into the theme of this video, using products that are hyped up in the beauty space, and the hype is real on this one. Can you see a difference? This eye, one full coat and nothing. It really does make a huge difference. I want to finish the look off with a drugstore lip combination. These products specifically went viral and have a lot of hype around them, so I of course wanted to see what the hype is all about. That's also another thing that I enjoy, testing out products and seeing why do people love these products, why are they selling out, Why are the displays completely wiped out at Ulta and at Target, you know? So those are the moments where I'm like, there must be something to this, right? So let's try. I'm going to start off with a lip liner. These are a favorite of mine. I've talked about these a lot. These are the NYX lip liners. On my lips, I do have the Naturium Phyto Lip Balm, which I talk about almost every video. I swear, because I have been using this every single day, and I start, before I do my makeup, I start with this to prep my lips because I do have quite dry lips, and this helps me out a lot. So I'm going to go with the shade, let's do Peekaboo Neutral, because I did nude, actually no. Yeah, well, I was going to do nude pink, but look, I need to sharpen it. There's like nothing to it. So let's do Peekaboo Neutral. Are you sharp? Yes. It's freshly sharpened. So I went ahead and lined and filled. I did also overline. I feel like I can pull that off with this lip liner. Then I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. lipstick. This is the O lipstick. I think it's the O Face lipstick, or I don't know what they're called. O something lipstick. This is the shade called Dirty Talk, and it's a really nice everyday color. And that pairs up so beautifully with that lip liner, and it creates kind of like an everyday pink with a little bit of depth to it. It's not a bright pink. It's just a nice sort of natural pink. And then we got to finish it off with some of this lip oil from NYX. These are the Fat Oil lip products. These went viral. I picked up 2 shades. These were really the only ones I could get my hands on. I think at this point, these have been out for a couple of months. If you're interested in these, I'm pretty sure you can find them at drugstores like Target, Walmart, Ulta, or even the NYX website. They should all be in stock at this point. I can't imagine them being still sold out. The one that I really like, I've used these before and they're great, it's the Supermodel. It's the pink with a bit of a sheen and shimmer to it. So I'm going to use a little bit of that. And it smells fruity. And that's the lip combo. I love it. I absolutely love this look. I can wear this lip combo of products every single day and be completely happy. These products are actually very high-end feeling. So I can see why there's so much buzz and hype around these products. The lip oil is great. I don't have any negative experiences with this formula. I've had with like the Rare Beauty lip oils. It completely destroyed the texture of my lips and made my lips feel really dry and extremely chapped, which is opposite of what you would expect from a lip oil, right? So I'm glad that these are working out for me, and that Supermodel shade is it. So if you can find it, snag it, grab it. It's perfect. So I completely forgot to do highlighter today, and I just realized that after I did my lip combo. I usually tend to wrap up the videos at this point, but I'm going to go in with the Check My Glow from Give Beauty. This is the Platinum Cowgirl. I have not used this yet, and I'm ready to put highlighter on my face because I felt like something was missing. So it has little squares of different shades, like a ivory with a bit of golden colors, some peachy tones, some little squares of pink with the embossed Give letters in it. It looks really pretty, but I'm going to swirl and mix these shades. You could sort of go to a specific color like the peach, the gold one, or the pink, and sort of kind of customize if that's what you're into. But I'm just gonna go in and I'm picking it all up, okay? I'm just gonna go shoop right across the whole thing and hit the tops of my cheekbone, temples. I can't believe I almost forgot to do highlighter today. What is going on? I don't ever skip highlighter. Okay, this looks really, really pretty. Take a little bit down my nose, tip of the nose. And that, my friends, is the completed look for today. I hope that you enjoyed that. I actually had fun today putting this look together and sort of incorporating as many viral products or overly hyped products into this video, and then sprinkling in some new things that I recently purchased during Black Friday that I've had my eye on for some time based off of the reviews and the hype, that I really wanted to try and see for myself what the fuss was all about and why people were loving these products and why I kept hearing some good things about it. So overall, I do feel like I like the overall look. I think the only thing is the under eye setting powder. For some reason, it's just not vibing very well with the concealers. I'm not quite sure if maybe that has something to do with the skincare underneath, the texture of my eyes, because I've used this powder before from Givenchy and I've really enjoyed that. I don't think there's anything wrong with the powder, so I just think that maybe my under eyes are just having an off day today, which it is what it is, but I think that's the only thing. And then it just doesn't seem as bright, and it's probably honestly because the Haus Labs concealer is a little dark. I could definitely benefit from having a shade that's maybe a step down or maybe 2 shades lighter, but 11 Light Neutral is a little bit darker for me. But because I mixed it with something lighter, I feel like I'm still able to pull it off and it doesn't look really dark under the eyes. If I just did that concealer alone, then I think it would look worse. So I think I have to just kind of maybe back off with the amount of the Haus Labs concealer, or maybe even order it in a lighter shade, because the formula is pretty decent and I do like it. Not as much as I like the Makeup by Mario or some of my other ones, but that would be the only thing that I'm not quite really enjoying, which is the way the under eye looks. But I do like how the blush is looking from Give Beauty. The highlighter is really soft. It's not really that intense, unless the light kind of catches it and you can really see the glow. But I think that I like that kind of subtle glow, not so blinding, not so much in your face. I like the eyeshadows. The Sultry palette blended really nicely. I did have a little bit of fallout with the deeper matte shades like the brown and the black, but honestly I can't really knock the formula or the product itself, because you know, it is the tool that I use. It was a pretty stiff angled brush, so now I learned my lesson and I won't be doing that next time. But I do love the shades, the creaminess of these metallic and really intensely foiled looking eyeshadows, the ones right down the center of the palette, and then this pearl. The only shade that I didn't use was this really cool tone, almost like a stone kind of gray type of shade, which I think I may use in a different look, maybe on camera or maybe off camera on my personal time. But I do really like so far this look, and the bronze is definitely right up my alley. I just love the way bronze eyeshadow looks. Let's talk about the lip combo. These drugstore products, it's just, it looks and feels like a high-end luxury formula, but it's not. It's really affordable from e.l.f, NYX, and it couldn't get easier, and it's a beautiful lip combo, right? Let me know what you think. So that is it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I have fun doing this. I always have fun turning on the camera and just sharing my passion and love for makeup with you. And I appreciate you so much for spending some of your day with me. And let me know what you think of the look, the products. Share with me what you're using. Did you buy anything during the Black Friday sales? What's new in your collection that you have been loving? I am curious to know what you guys are using and loving for your daily makeup. I'm always down to try new products. And I will have everything listed and linked for you down below in case you want to shop any of these products. You can also follow me on Instagram, pay me a visit there, we can be friends. It always pops up here on the screen. Hopefully we can connect there. If not, I will see you hopefully in my next video. Take care, you guys, and we'll talk very soon. Bye-bye.